Productions, and we're just going to do a quick mic tutorial on drum miking. Okay, start with the snare drum. We've used SM57 on the snare, fairly close across the skin to get the tone of the drum. SM57 is a dynamic which can handle very high volumes, so it'll handle whatever I can throw at it, and it's just a very reliable workhorse. So that's what we've got there. Moving on to the hi-hat. For the tracks we're doing today, we wanted a really dark sounding hat, not too bright, not too cheeky or anything. So we've got our old school dynamic mic here. It's a AKG D190E, but you could use whatever old dynamic you want. It's kind of like a old crappy mic in many ways. It works great for hats, and for brass as well, interestingly enough. Now moving on to the toms. Well, we'll do tom 1 here. We've got a little Shure Beta 98. They're a small diaphragm condenser which clip on. Makes them really easy to get into position and put where you want. And I like the sound of a condenser on a tom. It gives it a nice rounded sound. You get great definition actually from it. We've done the same on the floor tom here. You can see here it's spaced a little bit further away, give us a bit more of a fuller tone, but it's the same type of thing. And let's move on to the kick drum. Inside the kick drum, which we'll try and get a shot of in a minute, we've got a Shure Beta 91. It's a plate mic or boundary mic. And we're using this inside the kick drum to get the click of the beta hitting the skin. On the kick out, we've got Shure Beta 52. It's a large diaphragm dynamic mic. And these again can handle large SPLs and lots of low end and lots of wind and stuff like that, which makes it great for being a kick mic. And we're using two because this one is really good for catching the low end oomph of a kick drum, but not so much at capturing the definition of a click of the beta. And so we'll have one for each job, and that gives us a full sound there. Okay, overheads we're using AKG C414s. Now we've put them in your standard XY type of configuration, but over the snare drum, so that the snare drum stays center in the stereo image and the rest of the kit kind of spreads out from that. And we've used 414s, like any large diaphragm condenser will get the same kind of sound. 414s are just particularly good. And we've used the XLS because they don't have the high frequency bump on them that the others do. And we've used these in figure 8 polar pattern mode, which means that instead of being a standard XY, it gives us a bloom line pair and a more open, more roomy sound, which again I think suits the tracks that we're doing today quite well.
Euphony.